Howdy guys, welcome to another live stream with Bold. As you can see, I've hopefully got my backwards writing fixed. I've learned the magic of flipping in online streaming. So hopefully you can read that now and it no longer says something along the lines of evil blood. So today I want to thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, this is our second live stream, the second of many. Today we're going to be talking you through our Returns Manager app, and we're talking about this app specifically for a few reasons. Obviously, return policies are super important in the e-commerce space right now, but as well, we released a big update to our Returns Manager app, which added a lot of features that our users have been asking for a while. So we were excited about that, and we wanted to share those features with you and show you what we added. So today I'm going to be walking you through those new changes, through the Returns Manager app in general, how it works, give you kind of a brief overview, and then explain how you can get it for your store. Without delay, let's get into it. I'm just going to grab here and show my screen here. Same as last time, if you guys have any questions, we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and through Crowdcast. So if you have questions, just submit them on Facebook, YouTube, or Crowdcast, and we will answer them as we're going live. And of course, if you're having problems viewing the stream, you should see a link on Facebook and YouTube in the comment section to watch live on Crowdcast, which will give you the most optimal quality. So I'm going to pull up my screen here. So when I was getting ready for this live stream today, and we're talking about return policies, the one thing that kind of kept thinking about was Costco. I don't know how many of you guys watching shop at Costco or been to Costco before, but there's a lot of things that stick with Costco, and Costco's known for, but the most thing that it's known for is their return policy. And if you do a quick Google search, as I have done on the screen here, for Costco's return policy, you'll see, Costco has one of the most generous return policies in the retail world. That's straight from Google. And of course, there's links talking about crazy things that have been returned to Costco. And the reason being is that Costco does have an extremely generous return policy. They basically allow everything to be returned at any date. Now, that may not be the appropriate return policy for your store, but a good return policy is super important to a lot of buyers. We've gone through a few different articles. We found that New York Times did a study that found 91% of consumers said that a good return policy was one of the most important factors when they were choosing whether to buy or not buy from a retail store. That's a lot of people that care about a return policy. And then there was another study done that was from Inc.com that was talking about that price isn't even the most important factor to a lot of shoppers, but instead it's return policy, reviews. They're looking to stores to see if they're trustworthy, especially with Shopify, when you can start a store and get it live within a few days. Having a good solid return policy proves to them that you are trustworthy and that they can buy from you and they're not going to get a poor product. So good return policy is super important, but what's also important is making those returns easy and simple. And that's what our Returns Manager app does. It allows you to set up a seamless return process, as well as an intuitive interface for your customers who submit returns or exchanges to see their statuses and be able to collect their refunds directly from your store. So let's jump right into it. This is our Returns Manager App Store page. So I'll tell you right off the bat, it's $19.99 per month, and we give you a free 30-day trial. So you can install it right now, play around with it for 30 days, no commitment, and as long as you install before the 30 days, there'll be no charge. But I'm pretty sure if you install, you're probably going to want to keep it. Let's jump into the back end of my store here. So what I would like to do is I'd like to give you an overview of making a purchase, going through the return process, and how that all works. So I'm going to go full screen here so you guys can see a little bit easier. All right, so hopefully you can see my screen. And like I said, if you have problems viewing this live stream on Facebook or YouTube, just look in the comments and make sure to click the link that takes you to Crowdcast. That will be the most optimal quality. And if you do have questions, feel free to submit them, and I will answer them live on air right away. So I'm going to jump to the front end of my store here that has Returns Manager installed. And I'm going to go through a like an active purchase, just so you guys can kind of see the whole process. I'm going to go buy my t-shirt, and I'm going to head back to products here. And let's go through some more products. And let's add my Evil Blood crop top. See, I've launched a brand by making that mistake. Good things happen, right? So let's go through the checkout process. I'm going to quickly process my order here. I'm going to do Kevin. Like I mentioned last time, if you want to write down this information and send me something nice, that would be very cool. All right. So I will remind you guys, this is the default Shopify checkout. We're not doing anything fancy on here. So this would be like a regular checkout process for one of your customers. Returns Manager does not affect that flow. So they're going to go through a purchase like they normally would. And it's going to be processed just like it's being processed now. And ta-da, so the order's gone through. So if I head to the back end of my store and I pull up my orders, you'll see that that order has gone through, and there it is. My order is accepted. So let's go through the return process. So if I go, I'm going to go back to the front end of the store, and this is really cool. So what our Returns Manager app does is it adds gives you the ability to add a returns page. So this is my returns page. I can allow someone to look up an order. Now, the awesome thing about this is if you notice, I didn't create an account when I made this purchase, but I do not need an account to submit a refund. All I need is my order number, which I believe is 1004, and my email address. And if I do that, you'll see it'll automatically pull up my order, my 2 t-shirts I ordered, as well as I can create refunds directly from here. So we're pulling these policies directly from our Returns Manager app, and I'll show you that in a second. But you can actually create these different refund policies for different products. And a new feature we just added with this new update is the process of a restocking fee. If you want to charge a restocking fee to anyone who refunds, you can have that charged to the customer. So if I want to go and say I'm going to create a return for here. I want a refund or return 1. I can select why I'm refunding it, add any notes, any images, and click submit. So now you can see it's been pending. It's awaiting the store owner to process that refund. So let's go in the back end and let's head into our Returns Manager app. So here we are. We're now in our Returns Manager app. And if we head into pending return requests, we can see that I have a return request here. Now I can approve it, I can deny it, or I can make changes to it, all directly from this page. But I'm going to just approve it, click OK. So this is going to approve it. It's going to send an email to the customer. And that's actually something that we've made a change to in this update as well, is we improved how the approvals, like what options you have for sending emails out. So you can see in our general settings of the app, we have emails for approving the refund when you're going to get a credit, approving the return when you're going to get an actual refund, when it's been denied, we'll send an email template. All these different scenarios that will happen when you create return policies, we have emails for that will notify the customer. And if you enable the email, you can modify what the email says, the subject line, who's CC'd on it, and you can use a bunch of different merge fields to write something that would match your brand. So we think that's pretty cool. So that is a new feature of the app. Another new feature that we added, which I'll go through here, to go back to my general settings, is we have the ability to create return labels automatically. So this is kind of hard to demo because I don't have a printer to print out a return label, but this is probably the most, not probably actually, definitely the most requested feature our customers had for Returns Manager. And that was if a customer was returning an item, they wanted the ability to be able to automatically have them print out a return label that they could slap on the box and ship back. Well, you can now do that with Returns Manager. You can select UPS. You go through the process of entering your information for your UPS account, as well as entering the return address for your shipping labels, and save it, and you're done. So that means anyone who returns something will automatically get a return label created, which they can then just print out and attach to their item and ship it back to you so that you can pay for that shipping. So that's neat. And we also have a few options on return requests. So you can specify, if you want to get an email notification when a new request is submitted or not. So let's go, and I want to show you guys, give you guys just a little bit of a preview of how you can create what we call return groups. So if I click on return groups up here, Returns Manager allows you as a store owner to create groups of products that have specific policies. So as you can see on my screen, I have a policy for my clothing of my store that allows store credit for 30 days of purchase, refund for 30 days, replacement for 30 days, and a restocking fee for $10. If I create a new group, I can name it. So let's name it mug. I can select the products that I'd want to be included in this group. And let's just add my beer mug and my coffee mug. I can enable a restocking fee. So this is this new feature that I mentioned earlier, is I can create a fee that will be deducted from the refund. So again, the customer is not going to get charged for this directly. They don't need to capture payment information. But if you have a restocking fee of $10 and they're submitting a refund for $30, they'll only get $20. You could do this for a variety of different reasons, but we have it there so that it's an additional option for you to utilize. So we can enable for this group whether we want to enable people to get credit for returns of these products, so our mugs. You can see we can specify whether it's a lifetime warranty, whether they can return it at any time, like Costco. You can specify the amount of days it's returnable, as well as the note. So you might, use this note to say, hey, your refund will be processed within 7 days. It'll come to you via check in the mail, et cetera, et cetera. You can use whatever you want for that note. And of course, we can also enable refund or replacements, which are going to give you the exact same option. We know some things that maybe don't need to be refunded. If you sell food products, obviously you can't return that. Maybe a replacement or credit would be an option for that feature. So that's why we give you the 3 boxes to enable. The other part that we went through, and this is really big when somebody's returning a product, is the reasons of why they're returning it. So we have the ability for you to create multiple different reasons, and you can see that I have some here, but let's go in and create a new one. So if I go in, I say, it didn't fit. That's the reason why I don't want the product anymore. If somebody selects this reason, we're going to have a bit of a rules that are going to apply to that refund. So by default, we can have it specified that customers will have to pay for the shipping costs with this option, or that the store owners will pay for shipping costs with this option. So this is pretty neat because if somebody says, for example, my item is broke, you probably don't want them to have to pay shipping for return on that because as a store owner, you're probably going to want to absorb that cost. But if it didn't fit or if they ordered the wrong item, well, that's their fault. Maybe you want to pass that, the cost on to them. You can allow the customer to pay the shipping costs. So both of those are options. As well, you can also require a picture of a product, which is really neat if you are specifying that an item is broken, because before you approve it, you can ensure that it actually is broken so that you're not giving their money back for no reason at all. So let's continue going on here. But again, I want to remind you guys, if you guys have any questions, please submit questions in the comment section or on Crowdcast directly. I'd love to answer any questions you guys have about Returns Manager. And if you're having problems viewing the stream, feel free to click the link in the comments and connect to our direct stream at crowdcast.io. That will give you the best streaming quality. So let's go through another few settings of the app. We have the ability for you to actually create a return on the back end. So if you as a store owner want to maybe bypass your policy, something that cannot be refunded, but you want it refunded anyway, we give you the ability just to enter any order number, click search. You can see, here's my order from before, and I can just process a refund right here. Click that. You can specify whether I want it to be credit, refund. Let's do refund, return quantity 1. Again, we have our reasons and our customer note. And it even says here that the store owner will pay the shipping fees. Press OK, and there you go. All those emails are going to go to the customer that we processed before, and that's all going to happen automatically. Another interesting feature, now this feature again is something that a lot of our customers had asked for, but it's not something that I can actually really demo for you. When you install Returns Manager and you go to the settings and you go to general settings, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's going to be an option here, and it's going to say something along the lines of like warning. It's going to be like an orange icon. Now, this feature, if you enable it, and I've enabled it, so that's why I can't see it, it will actually allow you to create refunds directly from Returns Manager. Without this option enabled, what happens is Returns Manager will create returns, but it won't actually refund the product. So if you wanted to refund it, you'd create the return in Returns Manager, you'd approve it, then you'd have to go on over to your orders inside Shopify. You'd have to click the order, wait for it to load, and then you'd have to go click the refund button on the page. Now, I haven't actually captured payment yet, so I can't refund it, but you click refund here. So it's a long process. But like I said, this was a feature that we had been asked for a lot, and it makes it so much easier because now, if you have that setting enabled in the general settings of Returns Manager, and again, I'll go back in and I'll show you where it is. It's in settings, general settings. When you do a refund, we will automatically process that refund for you within Shopify so that it cuts one step out of the equation. Makes it easier for you to process, and you don't have to do that twice. The reason why there's an orange box around there, just to kind of give you a heads up, is when you do enable this feature, it's going to pop up and ask you for some more permissions because we do need more permissions from you to allow us to process refunds on your behalf in Shopify. So when you enable that feature, it's going to pop up and say, approve changes. Just click approve, and then we will have that setting enabled for you. Another cool thing we have built into the app now is our returns analytics. So you can actually see value of how much products have been refunded, product IDs here, number of items, and you can also do filters based upon dates or by refunds, credits, etc. I think that's a pretty cool feature, so you can see exactly how much you've been refunding and processing over the past little while. The last things I really want to show you today about the Returns Manager feature is the ability for you to customize the app. So we have a full suite of display settings, which allows you to customize exactly how our returns page looks. So you had seen this page here. It's red. You can change the fonts, you can change the colors, you can change the whole design to match whatever you want it to look like, whatever would match your store. And as well, we have built-in language settings. So like any other Bold app, if you want to translate this app to a different language, or if you just want to put in a bit of your own slang, you can have the ability to change text. For example, I can go in and change or look up to check for refund, and I can scroll down. You can see we have a ton of different options to modify text. Click save, and once it loads, it should update. It hasn't updated yet. It might just be taking a little while. But once it does, it'll show check for refund. And yeah, this is neat. It allows you to personalize the refund screen so it looks like it was developed specifically for your store, which we think is a pretty neat feature. So I mentioned that we have a ton of new features added to this update, and this is just scratching the surface of some of the features that we've added. We're really excited about our Returns Manager app. We believe it's the most popular Returns Manager solution on Shopify. And for any store who's looking to implement a return policy, specifically a return policy that is easy to initiate and easy to manage, I couldn't recommend this app enough. I think it's a great solution for any Shopify store to build trust with their clients and ultimately make more money because more people will buy from you because of your strong return policy. So let's close my screen here. So that covers it off. Looks like we're covered on questions. So hopefully I did a good job at showing you guys around our Returns Manager app. If you do have any questions, we would love to help you out with it. Please email us support@boldcommerce.com, and one of our account managers would love to give you a walkthrough of the app, help you set it up, give you suggestions on how to structure your refund policy, or even help you customize it to match your store. Lastly, or second lastly, I should say, just a reminder, the app has a free 30-day trial. So if you're viewing the stream on Crowdcast or Facebook or on YouTube, you should be able to click the link below to get access to that. Or you can just search for Returns Manager on the Shopify App Store, and you'll see our Red Bull logo. Lastly, tomorrow we're going to have another live stream. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to double the size of your email subscriber list. And I know that's a big promise, but we're going to do our best to show you some ways and strategies on how to grow your email list by twofold. So join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll be doing the live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Crowdcast as well. And I'll be joined by our resident email and social media expert, Mike Traclow, who you might also know from our 2 Scoops with Mike video series. So thank you guys for joining our live stream. I hope to see you at our next one, and have a great day.